Has your organization rolled out M365 Copilot? If so, then you probably are starting to collect a bunch of different Copilot prompts and saving them somewhere, sharing them with your colleagues, that sort of thing. If that's you, I've got a really cool free solution you can create in SharePoint to show these things off in a really cool card style. It's a completely free solution. It's using JSON formatting. So I'll walk you through the entire process. Let's get into it. So I'm on one of my sample sites, and I'm going to go straight into site contents and then site settings and set up a brand new content type on the site, because we're going to be using list items and creating custom columns for it. And so the proper way to do this is not just to add the columns straight to the list. You're better off making a content type that will give you more structure and allow you to reuse this in other lists on this site. So we're going to be creating a new content type. We're going to call this prompt, or we could call this Copilot prompt. And the parent category is going to be list content type. And the content type itself is going to be item. Item. Because item is the base content type for all list items. So using this to start with gives us that basic formula that we kind of all know, where we have that title column and then nothing else. So this gives us that starting point. We'll click create. And now we've got our base content type here called Copilot prompt with our title column by default. Now we're going to be adding in our other site columns. So we'll click on add site column and then create new site column. Now there are specific columns that need to be added for this JSON solution, because this formatter that we're going to be adding into the view will be referencing these columns by name. So if you were to call them something different, you would have to update the code. I'll show you where you will do that in a little while, but first we just need to get this thing up and running. This first column needs to be called prompt, because this is going to hold the actual prompt as its value. So this one is going to be a single line of, multiple lines of text. And then we've got all this fancy stuff here, like the rich text and all that is just turned off. We do want to require this, because what good is adding a Copilot prompt without actually adding the prompt itself, right? So we require this. In fact, we're going to be requiring all of these columns. We'll add another one, and this will be called prompt category. Yes. And then this will be a choice column. And inside this JSON formatting sample that I will show you, this already does have some values in here. So it really saves time. And you could add your own custom values or omit these entirely, but these really get you up to speed really quickly. And make this required, save this, and add another one. And this next one is going to be called works in, because this is going to tell, when people look at this field, they'll know what this prompt works in. For example, does it work in Excel? You would add Excel there. All the different applications or Copilot experiences where this prompt works is what works in is going to represent. This will be a choice column. And I'm going to delete all these values. And copy all these from the solution and paste them in. That looks good. Make sure it's required. And then the last column is going to be called icon. And this will be a calculated column. The formula doesn't work in here in this particular experience when we're creating a content type. So I'm just going to leave this one blank for right now. And this will be a calculated column, and we're going to just leave this default value here because we do need to put in a custom formula, but at the content type level, it doesn't like the formula that comes with this solution. So we'll update this once we add it to our list. But we'll make sure this is required and just click save. So we've got all of our columns built in our new custom content type. Now we're going to be adding a list to this site and adding our content type to it. So add a list. It'll just be a blank list. We'll call this prompts. And then we have to go into list settings because by default, it will not show you content type or allow you to manage them. They're all hidden here. All we can see are columns. So to make those visible so that we can add our content type, we'll go into advanced settings and click on yes under allow management of content types. Now, if we go down to the bottom and hit OK, we'll see all those content types showing up, or at least the default item one that it comes with. So we see item here, and then we see a button to add from existing site content types. That's where we're going to be doing this, and we will add, and we'll see Copilot prompt right here. We'll just click on add, and then OK. So this will add our content type to this list. Now, there's still the matter of that default item one, because if we add something to item, it's not going to have the columns we need. So what we need to do is change the button order so that our custom one is the default one, which means to SharePoint anyway, it's at the top of the list. So you'll see position from top, and Copilot is number 2. We're going to make this number 1, and we could even just make this invisible, hide item altogether, but we're just going to be deleting item. So now we'll see Copilot prompt visible on the new button and the default content type. So now that that's done, we can click on item and then click on delete this content type. So this will remove it from the list entirely so that every item that's created on this list is that Copilot prompt content type or based on that content type. So now we've got this, and if you look down here at the bottom, we'll see all of those custom fields that we've added to the content type. They already show up because all we did was add the content type to the list, and all the columns came along with it. Really, really powerful stuff, content types. Now we're going to go into the prompts, and we need to start adding some prompts in, don't we? We need some data to work with before we start to create that custom view, apply our custom formatter, and see this finished product. So let's add in our data. But speaking of data, JSON formatting is incredibly powerful at displaying your data. But how are you protecting it? That is a big question this week. It also leads us into this video's sponsor. Today, many organizations rely on Microsoft 365 for everything from email, collaboration, conferencing, and calendars to documents, internal communications. Yet this critical data can be lost as easily as it's created. Threats like cyber attacks, retention gaps, or even a simple delete click can leave data inaccessible and cause costly downtime. Nakivo Backup and Replication seamlessly bridges this gap to ensure your Microsoft 365 data and Exchange Online, OneDrive for Business, SharePoint Online, and Microsoft Teams is backed up and easily recoverable. You can send Microsoft 365 backups and backup copies anywhere. Local folders, cloud platforms, NFS and SMB shares, tape media, and duplication appliances. The solution offers advanced ransomware protection features that include backup encryption and immutability. Microsoft 365 data loss does not need to happen. With Nakivo Backup and Replication, you can ensure maximum protection of Microsoft 365 data. Make sure to check out Nakivo in the link in the description below for a free 15-day trial. And now to put that calculated columns formula in there, we're going to be clicking on Copilot prompt, and then you'll click on this parent Copilot prompt because we're going back up to the site column itself. And then we will click on icon. And then once you're on this screen, you'll see the formula here. You're just going to paste that in. And let me show you where this whole solution comes from. It's called the prompt cards. It's in the PNP community repo for the Microsoft 365 and Power Platform community. There's a whole bunch of list formatting samples in here, and I've covered a lot in the past. As long as you guys keep liking this, I'm just going to keep creating these things. So make sure you like this video and subscribe to this channel for more SharePoint tips just like this one. Now, this one was created by Pat McGowan. He is also a Microsoft MVP, so thank you, Pat, for this. You'll see all of the details for this. You'll see what this is going to look like. Some summary information up here. The view requirements, this is where I got that list of columns from. You'll see all the different internal names. Now, when you see internal name, that's the first name you give the column. I can go back and rename these after the fact, and I do intend to. But once you rename it after the fact, that's really just changing the display name. The internal name is still that original name. You can't change that. So whatever you do, create them with these exact names first. Then go back and you could rename them. You'll see the information about the different types of columns. Here's also where those choice values came from. So you could copy and paste them right there, as well as this formula. So this is the one for the icon column. So let's go back to this. And so that is all saved. And we're going to go back to the list and finish this thing up. Let's go to site contents, prompts, and now we're back in here. Now I could show all these other columns if I want to, but it doesn't matter that much because this is really not going to be used that much. We don't want to use this view. This is just the kind of boring default list view. We want something fancy, something custom. And so we're going to click on actually, we're going to be clicking on add a view. We want to create a gallery view so that it starts to set everything up for us. And we'll call this prompt gallery. Make sure it's a public view. Otherwise, no one else could see it. And so now we've got these cards. It's okay. It's just the default gallery view. We still want custom though. So let's go and format this current view and switch to advanced mode. Now, this is where the JSON formatter itself is going to go into, the JSON code. And if you scroll back up to the top of this solution, you will see prompt cards.json. This is the actual code that we're going to be putting in here. Now, if this looks overwhelming, because we could scroll down and we can see a whole bunch of stuff here, this is technically not even really code. This is just JSON data. It's just a way of formatting data so that it can work across many, many different systems. And there's a lot you can do with this stuff. There's a ton. There's a lot of tweaks you can do because this is just going to be text that we're copying and pasting into our list view. But if you want to learn all about this stuff, including creating these things from scratch, understanding everything that's happening in here, all the way from setting the basic CSS properties to triggering actions, updating list items, calling flows, deep linking into teams even. I've got all of this stuff covered in my JSON formatting course. You'll see a link in the description below to go check that out and get started today. For now, let's just click on this button right here, copy raw file. That'll copy it into our clipboard. Then we can highlight all of this, delete it, and then we just paste in our formatter. Now, if we click on save, we can close this, and now we've got this custom prompt card view. It's got the title at the top, the actual prompt, and then you see that works in column. You see prompt category. I'm not happy about how there's no spaces. So let's go back and fix this. And this is where we're going to be changing the display name, but that internal name is still going to be the original. It's going to be unchanged. So it keeps things nice and clean in the code side of things, while the users see a much better looking thing. So all we're going to do is rename the column here. And I'll add in that space, hit OK. And let's see, works in. We'll do that with the same thing here. Works in. And actually, kind of want to capitalize this I. Works in. There we go. And now we'll go back to prompts. and go check out our prompt gallery. And there we go. So now we see works in and prompt category. They're properly spaced. It looks much, much better. So what we can do from here is I can click on one of these things and I could just copy this prompt right to my clipboard, go straight into Copilot, paste it in, and I'm good to go. It's a really simple, nice prompt gallery that was created by Pat. So again, Pat, this was really cool. Thank you for this. And where would you go from here? So you've got a lot of options. We could go back to this JSON formatting code, and you can see now. I'd mentioned if you wanted to call the column something different, you would have to update the references to that, and that's inside here. So you'll see some things like here on line 78, you'll see prompt here, you'll see prompt here. This is all that you have to do to actually reference the value of a column in that particular list item. So if you called prompt Copilot prompt, then you would have to just update that right here. All the little references, you would just do a find and replace. All the references to prompt, you would just change that to Copilot prompt or whatever you called your column. Similarly, you'll see the works in here. So you could have works in be a different name in your list, and you would just have to make sure that's updated here. But you'll see a lot of other things here where it's creating custom styles. It's inheriting the styles from your site already. So whatever colors you're using there would be inherited here. You'll see things like the font color. There's a lot of tweaks you can do with this and add more color to it, make them pop out more. All of that is within your control without actually ever being a developer either. So there's a lot that you can do with this. And while Microsoft's they've been busy retiring different features, I saw some more retirements just got announced. JSON formatting seems to be here to stay. It's a really, really good lightweight solution to really visualize your content instead of having just boring lists and libraries. And as I mentioned, there's a lot of these different samples, and I've covered a ton. If you want to see another cool sample, then just click or tap the screen to see my playlist, and I'll see you over there.